Good afternoon, everyone. It's a beautiful evening and a beautiful afternoon, and I'm sure everyone has said what I should ordinarily have said. But, the challenge of usually speaking last is the fact that people speak your mind, and your mind is empty. And so you just have to now speak what they want to hear. I don't know how many times you've sat in an audience and you projected something and the person said it from there. But today we are celebrating not just an idea, because we are celebrating also the passage of time. We are celebrating triumph over trials. We are celebrating lessons learned. And for me, everyone has praised Mr. Tony Afia and his staff. But I think that at 11, which signifies different things for different people, in the New Testament, theologians have different symbolism for it. They insist that is the number of new perfection when Judas had left. Others insist that is the number of illumination. Others think that is the number of imperfection. But whatever number it is and whatever it means, it depends on who looks at it and the lessons that you learn from it. But when we are done with all of this celebration, what must happen, which I'm certain that you would, is stock taking. Lessons learned. In 10 years gone down, 11 years gone, the experiences that you have had. And there's a book that I'm currently reading, and it says The Power of Regret. And so the question that has been on my mind today is, what if you hadn't started this 11 years ago? Would anything have changed? We would never have known, because that is now counterfactual research. But certainly all of us would still have been alive, because God had purpose for us to be alive. But the difference is Bush would have been doing something else somewhere. And knowing Bush the way I know him, he probably would have been celebrating someone else somewhere. But it wouldn't have been you. So, drawing from there, the question for me, and I hope to project to your mind, is, are there things we have regretted in 11 years? And generally, human beings are willing to say, no, I don't regret. I came here to say that only the illogical will say they don't regret. Because chances are that if you have succeeded, you could have succeeded more. If you had failed, you could have succeeded. If you had failed, you could have failed less. And therefore, today, we gather also to celebrate regrets. Regrets of the things you ought to have done that you didn't do. Regrets of some things you have done that you shouldn't have done. Regrets of some decisions you took that you shouldn't have taken. Regrets of even the quality and quantity and magnitude of the decisions you had taken that you probably would have taken better, or you should not have taken at all. But when we put all of those together, like Jeff Kennedy would say, that in judging a person who has made a mark, not just what he has achieved, but the obstacles he has overcome in making those marks. And therefore today, we use those regrets. We use those regrets, those attainments, and at the end, we judge you successful. But we want you to be conscious that through this success, in the concept of leadership that we have all accepted, most people see leadership not as a process. They don't see leadership as results. They rather see leadership as a person, which is why everyone who comes here today would praise you, would praise the GM, and would praise the staff they see. But I must commend the consultant, Bush, for looking for the other people whom people do not see, but without whom the work cannot go through. That then is leadership. Because the leader may be very important, but he's only a leader in the ship. Leadership is all-encompassing and is way bigger than the leader. And I remember many years ago, like Bush said to me, the greatest thing that God does for the person he loves is that when he gives that person a dream, he gives him a team. And in having that discussion further, he said to me, irrespective of your dream, without the team, you will not achieve the dream. And he said, check in all the times that God has sent people on errands, immediately the dream comes, he sets up a team for them. And therefore, I want you, sir, to look back, which is why when the invitation got through to me, when he called me, I had to spend some time to wait to come with Borono, one of your founding and foundation staff. And immediately I said to him I was coming, he said he was coming too. Because there is need to look back and see the team through which what you have attained have come. Some of them have become throttles in this vehicle. Some have become brakes in this vehicle. Some have become clutches in this vehicle, but 3 of them have performed functions that have allowed this vehicle to arrive 11 years after. And therefore, on behalf of one of your greatest partners, the Akwa State government, I bring you warm felicitations from all the governors you have worked under. Because you have seen 3 governors in your existence. You started with Chief Goodwill in his exiting days, and you spent time with Governor Ememobong as he then was, and you are locked in a relationship with Pastor Honourable. On their behalf, I bring you the good tidings and felicitations of the Akwa State government. And we sincerely thank you for the vision. We thank you for the location. We thank you for the resilience. Reason is that something must be located somewhere. And the choice of the location is clearly that of the entrepreneur. Which is why I spoke to you about the power of regrets. But when you calibrate all of that, the question is, at your level of existence, having interacted with you, when you look at Maslow's theory, you'd be situated not at the physiological needs. You're not starting this to make money to buy a house, to eat food, or to have a cloth on your back. You are now at the self-actualization. And therefore, when you sit back to analyze the things you have lost in the process of achieving self-actualization, the question for you will be, was it worth it? Dear friends, gathered today to celebrate a person's idea, left the point of idea and became an ambition, left ambition and became a passion, left a passion and became a trouble spot, left that to become a mission, and left that to become a source of employment for many, and now a source of negotiation with people. Truth is that in many climes and many times, there are times when you could have ignored Tony Afia, but you cannot ignore his products. And therefore, the products that he has produced have had a way of launching him back to becoming an elite in a society that may not really like him. And so I commend you for one, bringing the first indigenous, privately run, owned radio station. Number 2, not resting, for bringing television as a part of it. Number 3, for diversifying into local language promotion through broadcasting. I commend you. My friend from the radio callers had mentioned that the 4th would certainly be a church. Maybe because that the 4th ground that the seed was planted and it grew was a church. But I do not argue with him. But I do know that church is not business. And that if we were to look at the things we need, one of the things we don't really need now are more churches. We need more Christians and less churches. But I must celebrate you for what you're already using the radio to do for Christianity. We listen to the radio on Sundays, we listen all the days, and we see that you devote time. And some of us back end do know that some of those are gratis, and that is your contribution to the evangelism of the Word of God, and we congratulate you for that. But dear friends, today gathered, I need that we take one thing home. If you don't act, time will pass. If you act, time will pass. At the end, the question will be, what did you do with your time? Congratulations, Tony Afia. Congratulations, staff. Congratulations, everyone.